Good morning. I'm Zach Lumpkin with Safeguard Dewormers.
I'm Tisha Lumpkin.
Tisha Lumpkin, nice to meet you. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
Doing good? How's your morning been going so far?
It's been going great.
What have you been up to this morning?
Been putting out hay for our cows that we have, feeding them, just keeping them.
How many cows you got?
We got about 15 head.
What are they? The commercial cattle, club calves? What are they?
They are commercial.
They're all commercial cattle.
Mm-hmm.
How long you been raising cattle?
Myself, probably about 4 years now.
Okay, so not very long. Kind of new at it.
I am.
You got facilities and everything to work them?
Somewhat. Yes.
Somewhat. What else do you raise? Do you farm for a living?
I do.
Oh, so you farm just all the time. That's what you do.
Yes, sir.
What else do you have besides, because 15 cows sure ain't paying the bills?
No, we have probably about 85 head of goats.
Oh, what kind of goats?
They are weather down.
Okay. How long you been doing that?
We've been doing that since 2007.
Oh man, are they pretty hard to take care of? I've heard goats are pretty hard to manage.
Somewhat, yes. They parasites is really hard. We have just trying to keep you keep them alive and things like that.
Oh yeah. I have some experience with safeguard parasites. We're going to talk about that in a little while. So you have a Southeast track and field shirt on. Did you run track?
I did.
You did. How long ago was that?
I graduated in 2004.
Well, what was your events?
I had the 400. I did the 100. A lot of running events.
Did that ever come in handy when you're working goats and cows?
Yes, I've chased a lot of goats.
Oh, really? Who wins usually?
I try to.
You try to win.
I try to.
Well, you mentioned that you had some parasite issues with the goats. Can you tell me about your deworming protocol at all for your cattle?
Oh, well, we try to. It's hard to handle them. You can't just go out there and give them a shot and stuff like that. So
your working facilities probably ain't really up to par on handling the cattle.
No, sir.
So when's the last time you dewormed? Do you have any idea about parasite control or any of that?
It's been a while since I've dewormed. Sometimes I just put out a block or something.
Well, that's actually where we're going to talk about the blocks when we get there. So through Safeguard, some of the things we offer, and one thing I think, especially on the cattle, we could begin with, our company offers free fecal tests. So one of the things that I would do as your salesman is I would like, before we even talk about what you need, I would like to come out and get a free fecal from your cows. We could do the same for the goats. That's going to tell us what to treat. If you look right here on my computer, we've got some common things that our dewormers treat, including just brown stomach worms, hookworms, and things like that. So it would tell us the beginning amount of parasites or the egg larva in each fecal sample, and then we would have an idea, number one, of what we needed to treat, and number two, of our effectiveness rate as we go. Just kind of talking about the blocks for just a second. You said you used blocks before?
I have.
So obviously you're familiar with them. If you don't have great facilities, I would say the block's probably a great way to go. We got to have one block's going to be 25 pounds. It's going to treat approximately 10 cows, mature cows. So, we would need to put out a couple of them. Mm-hmm. Is this something you'd like to know more about?
Yes.
Well, a couple things I need to mention. Number one is you got a withdrawal date. You familiar with what withdrawal dates are?
I don't know what the withdrawal date
Okay,
is.
so right now, this time of year, I'd say your calves are young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not a big deal for you. The only time withdrawal dates come in effect, which is 11 days on Safeguard blocks, is if you were going to be sending them to a slaughterhouse anytime within 11 days. But obviously, this time of year, most of your calves are going to be younger, so that wouldn't even matter. On dairy cows, you don't have no dairy cows, right?
No,
okay, so there's no withdrawal on the milk, which tells you how safe it is. The thing about it is, what we would need to do, if you wanted a couple of these, we would need to do that fecal, get our results back, make sure we're treating the right thing. And then also, we would need to come back in about 21 days, because that's the life cycle of the parasite, and find out if it's effectiveness. Is this something I could write you down for?
I think so.
How many would you need of these?
Well, I know at least two, since I
Okay, so you'll need to have 2 molasses blocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Switching gears a little bit, I'll go ahead and get you written down for those 2 molasses blocks. But switching gears a little bit, what about your goats? Tell me about your current deworming protocol for your goats.
We use a drench.
So you're familiar with drenching them,
Yeah.
so you're already getting your hands on them. Because we do have a feed, but I don't highly recommend it because it consumes on each one of them eating it. So you are using a drench. Do you mind me telling what drench you're using?
I use Sidector.
Okay. Well, obviously that's a great product as well. They don't probably offer the same doing the fecal before and after that we do. Yeah.
I like that idea.
So on your goats, you're already using a drench. You know, we pride ourselves in a highly effectiveness rate above 95%. Most studies show above 99%. However, with the fecal, that's the only guaranteed way to actually determine it. But on our goats, you would buy the Safeguard drench. It's 10% drench, and you can actually use this same drench across species. So if you actually wanted to buy this and get your cattle up, you could drench your cows as well. Or if you just want enough for your goats, you could do that. Or you might can just buy one big one and get them all up and deworm them all one time. It is given orally. You familiar with that? We drench it. You would have a syringe already. It does come with a drenching gun, but I would highly recommend using the drench gun, probably for show animals.
Yeah, I've got plenty of them.
Okay, that's what I would use. So on it, just a couple things. They do have a 16-day withdrawal. So if you're planning on consuming any of your animals in 16 days, is that going to affect you right now?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. You're not drinking the milk either?
I'm not.
Okay, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. The dosage is going to be 2.3 milliliters per 100 pounds. I would recommend a little higher on the beginning, but we could do it at recommendation and we could go from there because 2 cc's is just probably not going to be enough for a goat. But anyway, if we were talking about it in terms of cattle, 1 liter is going to serve 43,000 pounds of cattle. So obviously, that is something that is going to do with most of your herd.
Right.
If you've got 10 mama cows, they're going to average 10,000 pounds. So you would have enough to do your goats and your goats and your cattle with just one thing. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I would really like. I would be more doing blocks for the cows.
Okay.
And the drench for the goats.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
You said that it does the round worms and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
just looking at our common things: stomach worms, brown worms, intestinal worms. I'm pretty familiar with goats, and I know you don't see barber pole worm on here, and I'm sure that's something you're thinking. Well, what is it? Why are we going to treat it? Obviously, Safeguard dewormers are a white dewormer, so we're going to be treating more of the stomach worms and not more of the blood-sucking worms on this. However,
with doing the fecal test, though,
we'll know exactly what we're treating, and obviously it's below an acceptable rate. You're not going to have any clean animals. But if you've been deworming with a worm that's killing your blood sucking and you're noticing you're still not getting the weight gain, I would obviously look, because tapeworms and lungworms and things like that are worms that could cause serious issues.
Yes.
So is there any other questions?
No, I'm sold. I really would like.
So what size would you like? Obviously, I have 3 different sizes available. I have a liter, a gallon, and 10 liters. If you want to look at the prices, a liter is $135. 1 gallon is going to be around $400, and 10 liters is going to be around $968. If you buy today, we are offering 10% off your total purchase. So if you wanted to buy a couple of blocks and a liter, that's going to be about $235. I can knock off about $20. So you're going to be around $215.
I like that. I think a liter would be great. I don't really need a gallon. I don't have that many. I'm not going to.
So when would you like this? I could personally deliver this back out here to you. I've got to do the fecals anyway. I'll go ahead and pull the fecals, and then I could go ahead and bring you the medication. Then after we determine what you need to be treating for, we could go ahead and get you a plan in action. So when would you like this?
As soon as possible.
Okay. Well, let me get the order in. I'll pick it up today. Tomorrow we'll be back out here with the fecals. Obviously, I'll need to come back twice. I'll need to do the fecal before, and then I would love to do a fecal 21 to 30 days after. And then hopefully we don't need to do it anymore. If we did, we may go another cycle of it. But anyway, I look forward to visiting with you again. I really appreciate your business, and thank you for trusting the Safeguard dewormer.